Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden Cheezoids. Got some plays for you today out of the Vikings playbook. This formation that I'm showing you right now, the doubles north, I don't think can be found in any other team playbook in the game. I looked. I tried to find a formation that had more plays than the one that I was using recently in a gameplay, which you guys are going to see. It's going to come out here pretty soon. I really like this formation. I mean, the plays that I have in here are more than enough to create a dominant, consistent offense, but I always try to find a version from a playbook that has the most possible, so I can bring you guys a really good scheme. And I looked through every playbook and I couldn't find a single one that had the doubles north. So it seems to me like they almost either tried to remove this or it's just really rare. But like I said, to me, it's one of the best ones. There's the doubles south is pretty similar and has a lot of similar passing concepts, but they don't have the run plays that this has, which really makes the doubles north stand out. And that's more particularly towards the halfback stretch. The halfback stretch is without a doubt one of the better run plays you can have when it comes to this formation or the double south, which, like I said, you can find the double south in like 5 different playbooks. So this is a really underutilized formation as a whole, whether it's the north or the south. Very few differences in them as far as the passing plays. But if you have these plays in your playbook of choice, make sure you use them. Like I said, I just recently picked the Vikings in a draft champions, which is why I'm on this right now, because I was wiping the floor with people. But like I said, let's start off. This whole formation is an amazing passing formation because it just has so much versatility. But ultimately, I'm going to start off with the run play, because the run play in the halfback stretch is really like the bread and butter that makes this better than the South, is essentially the point. So I'm going to start off with the stretch. We're going to do some passing plays on the backside here. Before I start the video, I just want to let you guys know, if you go to MMOXP.com right now, you can get your MUT coins ordered and delivered within the next 10 minutes. And they also offer the cheapest coins on the market. So check that out. Link in the description below. Other than that, let's get into the video. So we're going to run this against, nickel packages, because I have a through wide receiver set. So you're ultimately going to see that quite a bit. But this play, I mean, I'm really just using basic run principles. If I have blocking advantage to the left side, I'll go to the left side. If I have it to the right side, I'll go to the right side. That's the easiest way to do it without any motions. Typically, if I'm going to run it just like this, if I flip it to the receiver side, which is typically the easiest way to go, 9 times out of 10, that'll be the most successful. A lot of times, I'll try to confuse the user with some fake motions. Like I'll motion out the tight end so that I get the user cheating that side, thinking that's where the play is going. Sometimes I'll motion this guy across. If it's a man coverage, you see how the cornerback's running in front of the receiver to get to his spot? That's a dead giveaway. It's a man coverage. He just typically beats the receiver across. So he's sprinting across. I know that it's going to be a man coverage. I don't want to bring an extra blocker or an extra defender into the area. So if I see him running across like that, I'll just motion snap it and just get the hike. I mean, he'll be looking at that receiver. I'll get the edge really simple. I mean, it's just, it's something that you can do quite a bit. But if I do have a zone, typically I can motion him all the way across. Once again, I got a man. Oh, it looks like I had a man. He stopped. So, like I said, in this scenario, I give myself a blocking advantage. Obviously, I didn't motion I didn't flip the play. If you don't know, like I said, all I'm doing is flipping the play by hitting the right stick, by the way. So here we go. I don't know why I have the cornerback followed that receiver back across. So once again, I have my blocking advantage. So this is what I want to do. But like I said, this is just an ultra consistent run. It has really explosive capabilities if you follow the principles of it. You can do so many different things with it. You don't have to do any motions at all. Like I said, you can just flip it, run it like this. You should have pretty good blocking. Like I said, it's a very consistent run. I mean, that safety was playing down pretty quick. It is what it is. But I can run this running play as the only running play that I run all game. If I want to try to spread that out, get a little bit of a bigger gap, I can spread this receiver out. Like I said, any motion you do is going to draw the user's attention. So I'd say I don't typically like to motion anybody if I don't have to. But if I'm mixing this in with some of the passing plays I'm going to show you down the line, then in that scenario, like I said, a lot of times in that regard, I am motioning across a receiver to create like a bunch concept in some of the passing plays. And in a zone defense like this, I have a blocking advantage. So motioning that guy across is probably the most consistent motion that I would do to get a blocking advantage. If I know my opponent's running a lot of zone, that's probably it. If they're running a lot of man coverage, I can have that exact same effect by motioning across the receiver again. Right here, obviously, it's a zone, so that's not going to work. But if it's a man coverage, once again, that cornerback follows across, then I have an open side of the field on the right side, or on the where I motion the receiver across. So that's also an option. But there's so many different ways you can run it. Like I said, it's really versatile. Every play I'm going to show you today is really versatile. Going to be run multiple different ways. So probably my favorite pass play, it's between two different plays, the bench switch and the wide receiver corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put those two in my audibles because they're pretty similar, so I don't feel the need to come back to this screen. But like I said, typically I'm going to, these are like the bread and butter pass plays, and then I have a couple more that hopefully I'll get to before this video ends. But let's go ahead and let's pick those two plays, the bench switch, wide receiver corner. I'll start off with the bench switch, although the wide receiver corner has a little bit better plays as far as like the plays that I can't make audibles and routes. So let's go ahead with the wide receiver corner first. So what I love about these plays in particular is the versatility of them. There's so many different things you can do. Typically, when you have a tight concept, which is what's on the left side, you can do a number of things with just that alone. That's one of the better concepts in the game, and you have that. But you also have the ability to motion this guy across and make it a bunch concept, which is like, that's two of the best concepts in the game in one formation that you can do just about anything you want to do. Now, as far as how I would run this, a lot of times I'm reading the defense first and then making my adjustments. You can run it just like this on the right side. You have your, I guess that's a corner strike concept, which I'm not really a huge fan of. Some people like that. I'll try to run it like that. This is not one of my bread and butters, the corner strike concept. I'm not a huge fan of that. But the bench switch side, I'm way much more bigger of a fan to. So like I said, I have a bench switch already pre-made in the bench, obviously in the bench switch. But if I want to run this, I have a couple of different options. Whether you run either one of those plays, you have a couple different options on the left side because they're essentially the same play if you look at them. There's really a changing of two routes. So all I really want to do, like right here, it's a cover three probably. So I can just go ahead and I can just streak Smith and he should get open right up the seam. That's one option. Like I said, if I want to motion this guy across, motioning the receiver across will give you, what the formation is, like right off the bat. So that's nice. Like I know it's a cover three now because the cornerback didn't follow. So now I can also create a instant open route to Doxson just by putting him on a flat. So now I have two plays that really beat cover three. So it's like I said, I read my defense. And like I said, I'll steal that right up the sideline. Catch and run, easy 10 yards. Or like I said, I could hold it, go right up the seam with the cover three play. There's so many different things you can do. The motion can really help you figure out what the defense is. Right here, we probably have a cover two. So I'll streak the B route, put the Y route either on a flat or an out route. Once again, I mean, the X route's really going to be the play. So these other plays are really just dressing to get that X route open. So like I said, he's pulling coverage back. Now we're hitting this for a big play. You know what I mean? There's so many different things you can do with this idea, with this concept. You don't have to do any motions at all. Right here, I mean, this is most likely a cover three. If it's not, I can drag Rudolph, and I still have the same low route, high route concept with the X route. I have my Y route, which is going to be, I mean, here's a man coverage, obviously, because like I said, I can tell post-snap. I didn't have to make any motions at all to give away the formation. Post-snap, I could tell. And since this play has so many different options, it's such a Swiss Army knife of a play, you really don't have to, like I said, motion the guy across, I can tell it's a man. You can run this all game, and your opponent will never really know what's coming because you can run so many different options, but you're essentially using the same concepts over and over and over. So here we get the man coverage. Just waiting for that route. That route's going to be the best against man and against cover two. It's pretty much the read. Against cover three, my Y route's going to be the play, whether I have him on an out route or a streak. Or even a flat. Like I said, if it's something I can want that instant, like I said, I could read space there and tell that an instant open route would be the play there. So there's so many different ways that can get open. But no matter what your adjustments are, cover two and man is going to be X. Cover three is going to be Y, whatever you do. So like I said, right here, if I want to hit that big play right up the seam, I got that. We got a cover three. Real simple. You know what I mean? Like this is just such an easy play. And like I said, you'll see that when I run this in gameplay, if you check out my gameplay coming up. So here we go. Another thing that I like to do, sometimes if my user starts like covering the bunch side, I'll just go ahead and I'll put this B on the slant. And that'll just, he'll be too busy worrying about the post, which has been killing him all game. And then he won't cover the slant coming across the field. That's really best against man. I don't know if this will be the scenario. Another thing I like to do, I like to put the running back in a comeback route, just as a really good check down. Because the user 9 times out of 10 is going to chase these motions, is going to chase these outside receivers, and it's going to be a really good play. Now in this scenario, I'm going to go out because I can tell based off the defense, there's nobody playing the flats. They're too far back. I'll get this read. I mean, he ran on that quick. I'll get that read instant though. You know what I mean? I'll take that 5 yards. He came down fast. But this play is such a quick hitting play. It's such a instant open. You know, there's so much going on here that it's impossible to cover this play. I mean, there's just, and like I said, I mean, I don't need the running back blocking. I don't need the tight end blocking, because if you make reads quick enough, you're never going to get sacked. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no scenario where you're going to be in trouble, because there's so many routes that get open so quick. So I wouldn't worry about that by any means. If you're worried about, you know, oh, I'm gonna run into to trouble, like right here. I mean, this is, you know, once again, like I said, if it's a man coverage, I could run that slant. You know, in this scenario, I could also streak back this tight end just to get, you know, pull the coverage back, pull the safeties back. And like I said, typically my opponent will be chasing that post route, because that's really one of the killer against man anyway. And then I just hit him across the middle. So many different things you can do here. This is really, like I said, this is one of my favorite plays. Or you can just go simple concept, run corner strike one side, run, you know, like I said, right here we have the high-low and the bench switch. I mean, that underneath route, it's beating cover 3 underneath all the time. There's just so much you can do here. The last play that I would do for this particular video would be the PA inside cross. This is a really good play for man coverage and for cover 3 specifically, but it's a really good wrinkle. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. So this play right here, I mean, if it's a cover 3, the B route's going to be the read. If he follows across, obviously it's not. Here's going to be a cover 2. So, you know, like I said, this is specifically more specific for a cover 3 route for the B route that I'm motioning across. But if it's a cover 2, the Y route, a lot of times will come across. He really got caught up in the line though. But you can see it's a good play. I mean, he's gonna, if he doesn't get caught behind the line so much. This is a play that really is best against off coverage. If I motion Doxson across and it's a cover 3 or cover 4, a lot of times I want to block that running back because I don't want to mess up the timing. But a lot of times that B route will really be open to the edge underneath really quick. It's just a unique wrinkle. This is something I put out a long time ago that I still use from time to time. Obviously, the bench switch and the corners play that I put out has some pretty similar concepts. You don't necessarily have to do that as much. In this scenario, like I said, I'm reading outside. I'm just going to streak this this X route so I can get really good release to the edge. And like I said, that pulls coverage back as good as possible. It's just a really quick hitting route that I can take for a good 10 to 12 yards pretty much every time if they're playing off cover 3. So that's pretty much how that goes. As far as the other routes go, I mean, I could put the Y route on a little bit more of a slant, because I find the route that he's running can really get caught behind the line a lot. Like, he doesn't necessarily run as smooth as it looks on the field or in the diagram, but he plays a high-low route pretty decent with Rudolph. Ultimately, if it's cover 2, though, I mean, I just like to streak him because the motion will get the user out of the middle. A lot of times the streak will just get open like right away. You know what I mean? You can just hit him for a quick hitter, either whether it's cover 2, cover 3, whatever scenario. The tight end and the running back will get the least amount of attention by the user. I mean, you have to watch the user post-snap and you have to play the user, but mostly they're going to forget about those players based off of the fact that the motion's going to get their attention, based off of the fact that it's going to have so much success. So here's another cover 2. Like I said, those cover 2 routes on the outside are, you know, it's the same route. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more plays out of the Vikings or the double south, because like I said, that's a really good formation as well, do me a favor, hit the like button, and I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. Money out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.